Natalie Cook, and today we're going to work on adding interactive activities to your Smart Notebook lessons. Interactive activities engage your audience, allow them to participate in the lesson, and hopefully help them retain that information for longer. A quick way to add interactivity to a lesson is with a hide and reveal activity. Hide and reveal allows you to hide certain information in your presentation and reveal it when you're ready, or when you're ready for your students or audience to discover it themselves. 3 types of hide and reveals are the move and reveal, order and reveal, and erase and reveal. These 3 hide and reveal activities can be found in your learner notebook starting on page 41 with step-by-step directions of everything we covered today. Some skills you'll need to have to create these hide and reveal activities include inserting objects, inserting text, changing the properties of your objects and text, using the pens and eraser tool, and finally and most importantly for these is ordering objects on a page. So let's get started with an example to figure out how these 3 activities work. In this example, we've posed a question. Where is this tomb located? And we have our 3 examples below. An important tip I'd like to give you about a hide and reveal is that because the answers are hidden or the information is hidden in your lesson, you need to provide detailed directions of how to reveal that information. For us here, we just have the key words, move, order, and erase. But you may not remember for your next presentation where it's at, or if you share it with others, or you have your students using it themselves, it's important to know where that is. So let's get started with the move and reveal. For the move and reveal, it's just the way it sounds. We're going to have the select tool. We're going to touch, drag, and reveal the Valley of the Kings. In this type of activity, there's just 2 objects in play. We have our text object, and we have our shape object, which we used a rectangle for this one. And those 2 objects, the order is important. The text object has to be sent to the back, and the shape object has to be brought to the front, so that when the shape crosses to the area that the text is in, it will be in front of it, and when it's moved, we'll be able to reveal. As a review of how to order your objects, I'm going to select my text, use my drop-down menu, and here you'll see order. And using order from our menu here, we can bring something to the front, send it to the back, or if there are multiple layers, we can send it forward 1 step or send it back 1 step. Another tip for using order and reveal, move and reveal, and erase and reveal, you want to have certain things locked into place. I don't want my students to be able to change this information. So again, using my drop-down menu, I'm going to go to locking, and I'm going to lock this in place so that that text box will not move. For our next one, order and reveal. For order and reveal, order does become very important here. We're going to use our select tool again in this same object. We're going to slide down into our dashed rectangle, and voila, the answer appears. This is one of my favorites to learn at first because the answer seemingly comes out of nowhere. And this trick is simply changing the properties of our text, changing the word the valleys of the king, the Valley of the Kings, so that the text color matches our background color. Let's review how to do that. I'm going to move my object out of the way here. I'm going to select my text, and there are 2 places I can change the text properties at. Up above in the contextual panel, I have my options there, or I also have my properties tab here on the right-hand side of the screen, where I can change color, font, size, and many other features of my text. In this case, the text color has been changed to white so that it matches our background. I'm going to come back to my page tab. Now that my text is white, the next important part is the order. Our text in this case, instead of being sent to the back, must be brought to the front. And our rectangle must be behind those words, so that when it becomes between the text and the background, the text is revealed. You notice we have a dashed rectangle, a great way to show where an answer can be revealed at. And that was made also using the tools panel above the shape, our shape maker. And finally, we have erase and reveal. In erase and reveal, we're simply going to pick up our eraser, and when we do, you see another contextual panel appears, and I can choose the size of my eraser. In this case, I'm going to make it the largest so that I can erase the most area. And when I erase in this area, my answer is revealed. Another like magic. How do we do this? Well, first of all, notice and remember that with my eraser, nothing erased. The objects in any kind of text that has been inserted does not erase. The only thing my eraser can erase is digital ink. And the place we find digital ink at is, again, in our tools panel, my pen tool. For this activity, I'm going to select any of the default pens, and I'm going to use my properties. Again, I'm going to go to my properties tab for this one, and I'm going to choose white so that it matches the background. Just as my text needed to match the background for order and reveal, my digital ink needs to match my background for the erase and reveal. I'm going to select white, and I'm also going to change the thickness so that I can quickly cover up my answer. Back to my page tab. Using my finger, I'm going to simply color over using the digital ink to cover up the answer. And now, my students can use the eraser to erase and reveal. Reviewing those tips quickly, after you have created your page, making sure your order is correct, and going in and locking in place each of your answers so that the students cannot move those, and providing clear directions of how to reveal the different answers. Okay, let's try another example where you're going to help me create these three types of activities. In this one, we're teaching our students about amphibians. We have three different types of amphibians we want to discuss today. For our first activity, we're going to make a move and reveal over the word frog. In the example we saw before, we used a shape. So let's go up into our tools panel, and I'm going to select the shapes tool. And when I do that, my contextual panel appears, and we're going to use the rectangle. I'm going to select rectangle, and I want to have a fill color inside of my rectangle. So using the properties here, I'm going to fill it with a green color. I could also choose a different line color if I wished. Another kind of green maybe to go along with it. Now I will simply touch and drag, starting up at the top left-hand corner until I have a rectangle the size I wish. Now, I need to put away my tools. If I stay selected on the Shapes tool, wherever I touch, I will create another rectangle. I'm going to go back to my Select tool, and I can move my object. Okay. I'm going to move this out of the way for a moment and give you a couple other hints. We don't have to just use shapes, but you can also use, this is a photo I found on the internet. I inserted this photo into my page, and I can use it to cover up my word frog. Again, this allows for more interactivity with your students and discussing what do we think is underneath there. Sure looks like a frog to me. What kind of frog do you think this is? And you can discover more with them that way. I've also used a frog that I found in the Gallery tab. Our Gallery tab, right here on the right-hand side. In my search box, I typed in frog, and this was one of the pictures that showed up. I simply drug this picture onto my screen to use. So when I take my frog over, we have a problem. We have an order issue. Who can tell me what I need to do to change the order to make this move and reveal work? Good. I need to send my words to the back. I need to send my text object to the back. So I'm going to move my frog out of the way here. Select my text using the drop-down menu, coming down to order, and I'm going to send to back. I also now want to lock my text in place, correct? So the students can't move it. Select my text, drop-down menu, locking. I'm going to lock in place. And now, let's be sure, and my frog does indeed cover up my text. Okay, our next example, order and reveal. I want my students to know where the answer can be found, so we're going to create another shape. Let's go to our Tools panel, select my shape maker, and I'm going to select the rectangle. And this time, do I want to fill it in? No, I do not want to fill in this time. I want to leave it unfilled, but I would like to change the line style. I'd like to create a dashed line instead. And using my dashed line, I could change the color of that if I wish by going back into the colors property there. So I'm going to create a dashed line, dashed rectangle around my answer. Now I'm going to have to go back, put my tools away, come back to my select tool, and I need to change the properties of my text. What do I need to change there? Good, the color. I need to change the color of my text so it matches the background. Select my text, come up to my contextual panel here, and I'm going to change the color to white. And now again, I can lock those words in place so they do not move. Drop down menu, locking, lock in place. And let's check if our order is correct. I'm going to move my rectangle. It does not appear. In this case, what do I need to change? Good. I need to move my words to the front. Because I have locked them, I will have to unlock. Select my text. And this time, using the drop-down menu, order, bring to front. Okay, let's check the order now. And voila, our answer will appear. And finally, erase. We have the warty newt here. With the warty newt, we're going to use an erase and reveal. And which tool will we use for this? Good, our pens. And creating a digital ink layer on top of the text. Come to my Tools panel, Pens. Select one of my default pens from up above. And I'm going to come over to my Properties tab. In my Properties tab, I want to match my digital ink to the background. Choose white. I'm going to choose a thickness, the largest thickness so I can cover it easily. Back to my Page tab, using my finger, coloring in. I'm going to put that tool away and double check with my eraser that this worked. Ta-da! And it erases. So those are our three very simple ways to add interactivity to any lesson that you present to get your audience engaged and active in the lesson. So I want you to take a moment now to turn to a partner close to you. We're going to do a little think, pair, share. I want you to think for a moment, why would you want to hide information before talking about it? How is this something that you could use? Share it with a partner, and then we're going to share a few ideas. Yes. Good. Sometimes we don't want to present all the information at once. So by hiding certain pieces of information, we can present it to our students in chunks. That's another reason. Good. Another great way. We want our users to be actively engaged and seeking out those answers. And we can get really creative in ways that they're hidden. What's one way that you might use it in your classroom, an example? Yes. Perfect. Maybe we're working on something such as a diagram of the heart. And we can have the labels to the different parts of the heart hidden. And we can reveal them in our 3 different ways so that students are learning the different parts at a different time. Thank you so much, and let's practice creating some of those in your presentation.